Hi there guys, Sam here. Join me once again in the Golf R for another video. A little bit around super unleaded and unleaded fuel, and just kind of what I've really noticed when sort of comparing the two fuels with my Golf R. So yeah, I'll get straight into the video really. So yeah, once again in the Golf R, and I wanted to bring up this topic because it's something that I think is kind of hotly debated in some ways. Certainly, I'd probably say maybe non-car people or even car people potentially kind of say if you sort of like 97 octane, which would be super unleaded in the UK, sort of supermarket fuel, or like 99 RON, like Tesco Momentum, or you've got Shell V-Power, you've got like BP Ultimate, fuels which are supposed to be higher octane rating, they're supposed to be more efficient for the engine, and they're actually supposed to get you more miles as well. And I've recently had a really good back-to-back in this car in terms of the amount of miles I do back and forth going into London. I've really been able to actually compare the two. Now, I used to use this car quite a lot actually on Tesco Momentum 99, and I loved it. It was hard to kind of judge my kind of fuel kind of gauge and if it was any better really, because I'd probably end up giving it a little bit more stick, to be honest, and just enjoying it a lot more because of, you know, it just felt more fun. It certainly felt a lot better and was a lot tighter, but more recently I haven't really been able to use that fuel just because there's not really a Tesco's near me, and I actually tend to use Sainsbury's just 97 super unleaded, and that might be more convenient for people. It's more convenient for me. Obviously I have the option of using normal unleaded, which is 95 RON, and obviously the 97 RON as well. The biggest difference to most people's eyes is that it's a little bit different in price. I think on a full tank on this, sort of like it's a 55 litre tank, so say if you're filling up with 54 litres, you know, depending on the prices of the fuel at the time, you can tend to spend about £5, about £5 more, I would say, on a full tank for getting super unleaded over normal unleaded. So it's a little bit of a cost, which is kind of, again, you know, worth thinking about when sort of, you know, budgets are concerned and bits like that. I would stress on sort of like maybe like a normal car, although there's probably no harm in it, the gains you're going to get are not going to be as big. Super unleaded, you know, higher octane fuel, more performance orientated fuel, tends to be a little bit better for turbocharged cars, and generally high performance cars. You know, my mum's 1.2 micro, you're probably not going to notice too much difference between a high performance fuel and a low performance fuel, just because the car's not really geared up to really take advantage of it. Now my Golf R, I really think is, and I noticed it as well with my Fiesta ST I had in the past. It really did prefer super unleaded. It actually made it sound a little bit better as well, which was good, and I found it better, but I never really did a direct comparison of whether or not I was actually getting any more miles. In this car, the one thing I will say, it does sound a lot better. Now this is just to my ear, I won't play you any recordings and stuff like that, it's all sort of subjective. I think it sounds a lot better. It sounds like, for me it sounds like the car's happier with super unleaded or above kind of fuel in it. And particularly as I was just constantly putting that in, and I knew how the car drove, I knew how the car performed, and I knew the kind of economy figures that I was getting on a regular basis. You know, I'd fill up sort of on a Sunday night, and I'd have the car for a week, and then I'd fill up again on the Sunday night. So I'd have a full week of fuel, and I'd pretty much do a similar amount of miles. Now I'd been getting generally around sort of 450, maybe 460 miles sort of on average on a super unleaded tank, which is actually really, really good. It's about 38 to 39 miles per gallon average. Again, fantastic for this car and a big plus on it, and I've got other economy videos on my channel if you want to check them out as well, but yeah, big plus on the car. I then had a week where I went to fill up for fuel, and I don't know, someone was taking ages getting their shopping or something like that, so I had to go to a pump which was just unleaded, and I was like, fine, I'll just do it. Saved me a few pounds, not really that much. As I've kind of said before, maximum difference is probably about £5, and I drove the car for a full week, and I did pretty much the exact same journeys in the exact same way I drive it. I just cruise it kind of to work and back. I do the same kind of journeys on the weekend. I didn't drive it any harder, I didn't drive any softer, I drove it how I would normally have driven it. And I came to the Sunday to fill it up, and one thing I will say for that week, it didn't sound the same. It didn't sound the same. It didn't. It was almost like it was trying to work itself out a little bit with the noise, and I didn't like it. I felt it sounded a little bit rough, to be honest. That's, again, my personal opinion. I'm not doing any scientific things on this, but that's just my opinion on that's the 95 unleaded fuel. And I came to fill it up, and overall I'd managed about 410 miles, and that was pretty much exactly the same journeys. There was no sort of discrepancies. There was nothing really. You know, to give or take a few miles back, I would comfortably say you can get around 30 to 40 miles better off with the same sort of driving using a high performance fuel. And I can only imagine the higher you go up, the better. You know, in Germany you can get sort of 102 octane, so you know, God knows how great that can be for certainly a high performance car. And that's something I just wanted to say. You know, it can be kind of skeptical. You know, it is a lot of money, fuel. You know, it's the biggest cost of this car. You know, each year it's going to cost me, depending how much miles I do, you know, it can cost me about £2,500 to £3,000 a year on fuel alone. As it's for most cars, whether you've got a normal car or not, it's going to be a big expense for you, and it's something you really have to think about. You know, forget insurance, forget servicing. It's fuel that's really going to, you know, it's really going to hurt your pocket. Just trust me on that one. But I would say, for that, is that extra 30 odd miles worth an extra few quid or whatever? I'd say it is. For me, for having a car like this, you know, I want to keep it healthy. I want to have, you know, I want to have some fun in it, but I also want to get the miles. I don't want to be filling up every 5 seconds anyway. It is worth it for me, and I would say the same for you. And I know other people who have Golf R probably put maybe even better fuel in it, maybe Shell V-Power or something like that. And I would certainly say it's 100% worth it for your Golf R. And I would say if you've got another high performance car, definitely don't skimp out with the cheaper fuel. It's not going to hurt the car once in a while to do it. Certainly if you've got no choice or whatever like that. But for me, in the test that I kind of did, I felt was a really good real world test, and that's kind of why I wanted to share it with you. And I would generally say, I don't think it's sort of like some money grabbing technique that supermarkets do or fuel manufacturers do. There's supposed to be better fuel additives in it to make the engine a little bit more efficient as well and make it cleaner. Obviously I'm not too sure on that, but I can only hope it does. It certainly gives you more range. So yeah, that's really the video, and I just kind of wanted to share my thoughts on super unleaded fuel to unleaded fuel, and specifically around my Golf R. Hope you enjoyed the video, and please comment below, let me know your thoughts on it, your experiences as well. I try to build this channel as much as I can as like a community-based channel, just to try and help other people out. I'd like to think if people would search for something like this, they can also check in the comments and get other people's opinions. And you know, you guys, you're great on my channel. You really do comment a lot, and that means a lot to me. I'll try and reply to you guys as well, and you know, share my thoughts, and that's a big part of why I enjoy the channel and why I enjoy doing this kind of content, is to get you guys involved. But thanks very much for watching, and if you want to watch my last video, click up there. If you want to watch a video that I really think you'd be interested in and think would be quite good to watch, click down there. And if you'd like to subscribe, which I hope you do, please click on the button just above my face. But thanks very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers guys.